Hey everybody, welcome back to hour 2 of episode 4 of Roleplay Blades. We are following Aldo's almost skipping down the street trip to the opera in his brand new, fancy, very fancy.
It was the first like musical number on Blades, maybe.
You can hear him like kind of humming, singing under his breath.
Nice. It was either that or I was thinking it was like Californian Dreamin', just like running over the thing.
That'll work.
Yeah. So back to Brightstone, across the bridge, passing the secret entrance to the lair, and heading to the opera there for your indulgence. It's Carillon is the name of the week that they call it. It's the day that the opera is held typically, and you arrive for a revival of an old classic. It hasn't been staged in a century. It's a piece about one of the emperor's secret agents. It's a piece of fiction set to as an opera. And yeah, we're gonna.
Now, a quick question as far as like the setting and the lore and that kind of stuff goes of the place we're in. Is there a way to like play music like a phonograph or like something like that? Or
there are phonographs, yes.
Okay,
like the old wax cylinder style.
Perfect. Okay, because I'm just. This is my church basically. This is where I go to feel like, Zen or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you can like visibly see like the excitement as I'm waiting in line to get in there and stuff like that. So I'm talking to people that are in line beside me and stuff, and I'm saying stuff like, "Oh, I haven't heard this since I walked by this lady. She was washing her windows, and she had a music playing, and I heard this, and I said, what is this?" And this guy like just talking to like an absolute stranger, like not even caring if he's listening to me or not.
Well, for the first time in your life, the hoi polloi of Duskwall, like you basically fit in. Some of them are really extravagant with their opera gear,
sure,
but the rest of them dress basically the way you are in like very fine clothes. And for the first time ever, like normally when you try to strike up a conversation at these things, people like turn their noses up and walk away from you. But now, like they're like, "Oh, I'm afraid I haven't had the pleasure," and they like want to know who you are and what factories do you operate? What are your business interests in the city? What do you think about the potential Leviathan blood shortage? They like start treating you like an equal. So,
and I'm trying to bullshit like as best I can, like talk about my investments that they've really taken a hit this year.
Oh yes, terrible business, I'm afraid. Yes, well, I'm afraid that's just the way of things. You're able to just because they're not really listening. It's just this
of course
chit chat kind of thing, and it's just smooth and nice. And a few people hand you their little crisp printed cards, and should you ever need a solicitor and that kind of thing.
Excellent.
And one of the opera servants, they're like wearing these kind of tuxedo serving outfits. Her hair is up in a bun, and she's a local Akarosi, very pale, blonde haired, tall, sort of elegant looking servant. She approaches you and says, "Sir, there was a message for you at the front desk from a Rutherford." And she hands you a like little envelope that's sealed with the Kinclaith House wax seal on it. It's like the old timey letter that it's also its own envelope. You fold it open and
right.
And she just discreetly gives it to you as if like someone left it for you at the opera.
Well, thank you very much. And I take it and I open it and read it.
Yeah.
Take my glasses out and
it's very long-winded with a lot of flowery old-timey isms that I'll spare us. But the point of it is the last bits where he goes on at length about his time serving the conclates and how his duties as a servant oblige him to certain restrictions that he can't confidences that he can't betray. But he says the harrowing sights that I've seen in the house over the past month have frozen my very soul, and I know not where to turn. Please, sir, I depend upon your kindness. If you have any honor, and will uphold the offer that you made to me the other day, please, this house is cursed. A darkness has descended upon it, and I fear that if it is left unchecked, will surely bring us all to ruin. And then he, gives up flowery, I will be forever in your debt. I remain as ever yours, Rutherford. He's very vague about. He specifically says the house is cursed, ruin. It strongly implies some kind of supernatural business, but he doesn't know what it is, and he doesn't go into detail. But he essentially is breaking his confidence with his employer and saying, "They're fucked. You got to get us out of this, or we're all gonna be dead. Please help me."
Okay.
Yeah. And I guess he would also say he knows that this will cost him his job and his livelihood for doing this. He doesn't expect you to be discreet or something. He's not like, don't tell anyone. He's just like, even though I know this will ruin my reputation, I must take action. So yeah, that's the gist of it.
Okay.
And then you enjoy the opera.
Yes. Fine performance.
Yeah. It's okay. It's a little, it's a little old fashioned, but maybe you're into that kind of thing.
Right.
So let's make a vice roll and see how relaxing and stress clearing your time in the opera is.
I would love to make a vice roll.
Yeah. So I think on this new character sheet, you can just click the vice button and it will do it. It may ask you for bonus dice. I think it does.
Oh, indulge vice. There we go.
Yep.
And it says input value bonus dice.
So if you want to, you can take a bonus die. There's a bit of a danger of overindulging if you roll too high. So you don't have to take it. But I think with your fine clothes, this whole experience, it's not just the upper, right? It's the finer things in life. It's being a part of this world to some degree. And your new clothes have totally made it way better than it normally is.
Right.
So if you want to take a bonus die, you may. It's up to you.
Well, yes, I will.
All right.
I'll deal if we roll over, I'll deal with the consequences.
Yeah, it's bound to happen to somebody. Someone's got to be the first one to overindulge, right?
There you go.
Okay. So let me just 1 second here. There we go. So downtime for any roll. Let's see here. Oh, vice. There we go. Overindulge. I can attract trouble, big talk, lost, or tapped.
And
okay.
You'll get to pick which one of those it is.
If you clear more stress levels than you have marked. So I have 5. So if I roll 1 dice, that's a 6.
Yes.
Okay.
If you get a 6,
interesting.
You will overindulge.
I'm excited. Let's go. All right, here we go. Bonus dice input 1 and
oh, hey, nice.
Oh, good job, buddy.
We couldn't sound more disappointed.
No.
Good job.
And 1 stress. You did good.
Yeah, down to 1. Nice. You cleared all but 1. That's just about perfect. A very good night at the opera. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Are we good? Did you want to do more?
I was just gonna say that I wait. The reason why it was such a good night is because I waited after the show was done, and I waited for the performers to come out where they come out and stuff, and I complimented the soprano that I talked about And I said, oh, it was a very inspiring performance tonight. And I'm assuming since it was, I have all but one stress gone, that she like just at least just looked at me and was like, just gave me a smile or something.
She does. They don't think you've come into the artist's wing to rob them. They think you seem to be a nice gentleman. And she does. She acknowledges you, and one of her handlers touches your arm and says, "Miss Bowmore appreciates all of her fans," and then kind of pushes your elbow a little for you to like make room for the next person.
And I kind of stand there like Ralphie from Christmas Story.
Just like.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. Okay. And then I shuffle off.
Nice.
And that's it. That's all I got.
Cool. So that's your 2 free actions. You acquired a nice suit and you indulge your vice. Who wants to go next?
Wheat.
Jeff.
Wheat.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said me.
So I have a question. Going into downtime, we as a group have not decided what our next target is, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
That's correct. You don't have to decide right now, but if you have a plan about acquiring a new target or doing something about Lord Suker, that obviously that's a thing you can do, Marcus. So.
Okay. Fuck, man.
I mean, he's definitely on the table, and you know where he is now.
I thought it wasn't Suker, though. It was actually his servant lady that works.
Lanik, yeah. Lanik basically spilled the beans about where he was. He's out in the Lost District, like
right.
This thing.
Yeah. It's protected by all the fucking crazy shit.
Yep.
Right.
And you don't have to spend your 2 downtime activities on that. Like just gathering information about stuff, you can do without spending an activity. You don't have to spend it on that.
I totally forgot that I was stabbed last time.
You were. Oh yeah, that's right. And it was reduced to level 1 harm, as I recall.
Mm-hmm.
So you still have it. You can take a recovery downtime, which will cost a coin now because you're out of free actions. But if you take it, that'll get rid of all your level 1 harm, so you'll be healed. Or you can just keep it.
Hold on a second.
It's up to you.
Does indulging a vice take 2 downtime actions?
The acquiring the asset, the suit was one of them, and then the.
All right.
Yeah.
You had to go shopping, didn't you?
Hey, you got to indulge. Don't even. You have no room to talk, druggie.
You have a 6 coin surplus. Just take the 1 coin. It's fine.
Yeah, you can take the
we
one.
have a lot of money.
Recover. Yeah, might as well spend it, right?
Okay, that's what I'll do then.
Yep.
So what we learned last time was that we know out in the, what is the actual lands called again? Like what is
the
that?
Deathlands is what they call it.
The fucking Deathlands.
The Lost District is a little different. It's a part of, it used to be part of the city, but there was a plague and they just walled it off with lightning barriers. So it's all built up and stuff, but it's like outside.
Then I would like to request that upon downtime, before I make my decisions, I need to have a conversation with Mr. Firm.
Yeah.
So
house meeting.
It's actually no. I like privately approach Firm's quarters, and I knock.
Okay. He's just like in between 2 book stacks. Like I said, that weird bed with the candle, and I'm just sitting there reading a book that's like some romance novel or some shit.
Is your door open then?
Yeah, there's no door. I'm just in between 2 book stacks.
Oh, okay. You're not at your room.
Yeah, but I could still see you knocking, like on the outside, like a bookcase or something like that.
All right. Well, then that's what I do to respect one's privacy.
I think as you knock, he closes the book, puts it down next to him, folds his hands, and just is like, "Yes,
You have a moment for me.
for you, I have so many more moments." Of course.
So I've been thinking a little bit as we, get ready for whatever our next venture is. I'm sure we'll talk about it shortly, but I've been thinking about this whole, my targets in the Deathlands.
Mhm.
I'm just curious if you've thought about how the fuck we're gonna get there.
Ms. Cadby, this is part of the reason why I love you so much. I think you are obviously, anyways, beyond that. Yes, I've thought a lot about this. I think your person of interest is perhaps our most appropriate next target. We are down to 2 on the list. The other one is quite difficult. I would say something that we need to build up to a little bit more. Yours, on the other hand, yours, delightfully within reach. I could see us decapitating and hiding that body quite easily.
But how are we going to get there? How will we find the beautiful crease across his neck, in which I'm sure you or Aldo will take a blade to decapitate? Decapitate. It's just as you say. But how do you intend we get to this target?
Well, Miss Cadby, we'll have to put our heads together and work on this, but to make it seem a little bit more doable to you, we almost blew up an entire Leviathan hunter ship and killed everybody on board. When it comes to this mission, I have nothing but the most confidence in our group. I think we'll find quite a delightful resolution. It should be most easy.
Just so I understand, so quick review.
Mhm.
You don't know, and I'll find out for us.
You're the brains behind that kind of thing, but also Aldo, well, strong and large, and a terribly slow speaker. One of the most disturbing things about him, for sure. He is also another good candidate to help find some research on this. We should use our talents to find the best approach. And I
Great,
do have to
Mr. Firm.
apologize. I don't have a fresh idea for you. I am very stressed out after our last engagement. It went down splendidly well, and yet I find myself quite irritated. I'm going to have to blow off some steam.
Do what you got to do. Thanks. We'll talk soon. All right. I am going to do 2 things then. I am going to train in order to advance my playbook advancement. I am going to choose connected, which is during downtime you get +1 result level when you make an acquire asset, gather roll, or do seat rolls. And then I am going to make a gather info roll to find out how our crew would manage to get to the Deathlands to actually do anything about this target.
That sounds like a good spidery bit of downtime to me.
Nice.
Sweet.
Great.
That's what you're here for, right?
Yep.
You got all those skills. Plus one result level, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Even better than a bonus die.
Yeah.
Nice. Just out of curiosity, is your training like personal training? Like, do you study and stuff, or do you like go somewhere to learn the ways of the spider?
Man, that's a good question. You know what? Let me just real quickly, because let's see. I got the train doesn't even say. Yeah, I guess in in this case, actually, what happened is I've been working on deciphering this code that is local to this region, and I spent some time to kind of complete my own analysis of this, sort of like code cipher, and in doing so, that was sort of like a spider XP.
Yeah, nice. It's brain games for spiders.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Nice.
cool. Very cool. Training and gather info.
Do you not have a lot of stress then, Wheat?
What?
What's your stress test?
So I have more stress than I would like, but
Can you pay a coin to do that?
what?
Stress roll?
Yeah, you can pay a coin to take a third downtime action and address
Do
it.
it, Brad. We got now 5 extra coin.
Wait, I can pay a coin to get another action, or I can pay a coin to reduce stress.
You can pay a coin to get another downtime activity, and
Do
then
your vice.
and to do your vice. Yeah.
I'm terribly sorry, John. Marcus is very, very slow.
No, I'm actually very quick on the uptake, Jeff, because I know that if I roll higher than
Marcus. That was Carol.
3, Mr.
Yes.
Firm, whatever.
If you roll higher than a 3, you will over.
Yes. Okay. Well, you know what? I'll think about that for just a moment.
Yeah, think it over.
So you're at a 3?
Do I need to make it what?
Did you say you're at 3 stress?
I only have 3 stress.
I like the gambler in you, Marcus.
That's pretty.
I am
That's
a
that's
gambler,
50-50, bro. I like it.
Nice 50-50. Yeah, you got to admit. It's
This coin flip has me all kinds of.
Shut up.
what would Miss Cataby do?
What?
It works because your vice is gambling. It's like a
I know.
Yeah, that's
double.
what I'm saying.
I know.
All right, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. First,
Yeah.
you want to find what I think I'm hearing is you're sitting there and you're going, how the fuck are we going to do this? He's outside the lightning barrier. How,
Right. Exactly.
I want to lead. I want a concrete way to be like, this is how we can get out there.
Right. Because obviously this hit of all of them means the most to me. And so I'm just kind of like, well, wait a second. You know, like I feel like we kind of need to know this. And so that's why I wanted to have the conversation.
Yeah.
And great, love the confidence, but obviously determined that this is something that I need to make sure that I figure out. Because even if these 3 don't go with me, then I'm still going to make that journey.
So,
Mr. Harper.
yeah, I got you.
Just to clarify, I thought the 3 names on the list, it wasn't actually Mr. Suker. It was his like personal assistant lady.
What about his assistant?
It's not Mr. Suker that's on the list, I thought. It's someone in his family.
Jenna, his servant,
Yeah.
is Marcus's character's rival.
Yeah.
No. I mean, the 3 names were given to kill. I could have sworn it wasn't actually Mr. Suker on the list.
No, he was definitely one of them.
Yeah,
That's
it
how
was-
you got me to join the team.
Yeah.
What? I've been back.
No. You're getting ahead.
No,
it was how he joined the team. He was?
Wait, let me double check.
I believe you're wrong. The name that it was on the list was Anne's character, was the one that was.
On my list, I have Lord Skurlock, Lord Suker, and Lady Clave.
I might be mistaken.
And the connection to Lord Suker is Miss Cataby's rival, his servant Jenna.
Yeah, that's good. All right. I forgot. My bad.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. We can double check.
That's what I put on mine.
But
All right.
I had Lady Clave, Lord Suker, and Lord Skurlock.
pretty sure that's right.
Maybe I'm getting him mistaken with the lady we just killed. She was like,
Oh, could be. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, move past it. My bad.
So that's fine. I have a bit of good news for you, Marcus. The crew has a good relationship with the Foghounds. When we made our crew, we I think Anne picked them as one of your positive connections. They are a group of smugglers who, being smugglers, come and go from the city in ways that are not meant to happen. So they are good at that, and they, as a positive status connection, a contact for the crew, you can like bring them in on this if you want to, and you're already getting +1 result level because you're a spider and you're super good at this. They will also give you a bonus die on top of that if you want to work with the Foghounds to like go meet with them, look at their maps, and you'd be like, look, this is where we need to go. What's your best route, to get out here? Can you guys loan us some gear? Can you take us there? Or, if you want to bring them in, you'll get a bonus die on top of what you've already got. But you don't have to. You could leave them out of it if you want.
Okay. Yeah,
decide.
absolutely. I mean, I think that's definitely something a spider would do.
Yeah, that's kind of your specialty, right?
Yeah.
Margette Vale is their leader. She's quiet, cold, and fearless is what it says about her.
Quiet, cold, and fearless.
Yeah. And Bear is her second. Bear and Aldo would get along just fine. He's named aptly. And Goldie is their navigator, driver, pilot. So you know,
golden retriever, by the way.
That's right. Yeah, they're very smart. Very smart dogs. You know them quite well. You know they have a secret dock and warehouse / carriage house in Crowsfoot. You know where it is because you have positive relationship. Well, you know, like generally where it is. Like they know you're in Brightstone somewhere. They don't know where your hidden lair is. You don't really know where their hidden stuff is, but you can go meet with them. And Margette will give you her insights into potential ways to get over there and maybe an offer of aid if you want to go that way.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely like to go that way.
Cool. So we'll just cut to you're in. You went through the rigmarole of like talking to one of the urchins, and then they send a guy to get you, and they like blindfold you, and they walk you into the thing. So they're pulling the blindfold off, and you're in this. Used to be a small boathouse or medium-sized boathouse where they would lift boats up to work on them. So they have these wooden slats where they can raise and an old crane and stuff. But they've repurposed everything. There's like they've torn the floor out here so it goes directly into the underground canal, so they can like drop a boat in from inside this building where no one can see it, like into the canal underground and sail down there. And they have a couple carriages here. One looks like a cab, like a Duskwall City cabbies coach. It's all painted up in the right livery. It's one of their fake cabs that they use, and various other implements. And one of the first things you notice when Margette, she's older. She's probably, I don't forget how old Miss Cataby is. Margette's probably like 35, I think. Miss Cataby's kind of young, right? Is that right?
A little bit younger, yeah.
Her hair's all crazy and curly, and she ties it back in a bandana, and she wears like kind of work clothes, like a jacket with pockets, and she has a belt with tools all stuck in it and stuff. And she's rolling out the map, and as we cut into the scene, you know, she's going, would she call you Vanna or would she call you Miss Cataby?
She'd probably just call me Cataby.
Okay.
Yeah.
She says, outside the lightning barrier. Cataby, you're never dull. Never dull. And she's like rolling it out and weighing it down and like turning the map. As she turns around, the camera can see behind her. She has these like metal poles with electrical bits on top of them, all roped together, and these weird hooded mask things with hoses that come out of them into these backpacks, and they're all covered in this black ashy dust, which, you know, as a person in this world, you know where that comes from. And she like sees you looking at it, and she goes, yeah. They do come in handy sometimes. Now, let's talk about the entrance here. And she like starts going into detail about various ways to get out to the Lost District. So you're going to make the roll.
Yeah.
And can you like tell me what you would like to get out of this? Like what's your target?
So there's probably like going into it with the thought of, okay, let me just find out, you know, if we have a relationship with them, then I know that it's kind of a fairly exclusive group of people who are going beyond the lightning barriers and are in the Deathlands. So they're obviously a group I talk to. So I'm looking for either one of two things. Option A would be, tell me how I personally would go. And if that is not a feasible option, what can I do to convince you, you know, like, or what resources do you have available? Who's heading out that way? What trade routes do you know about that we could potentially, right? So if she's not the one to take me, then she knows that Horace will also be running out there that way.
Totally.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out.
So would you say it's your preference to do it yourself, get the means to do it yourself. But if that doesn't seem feasible, the kind of secondary position is,
I would say that Academy does not have a preference because not knowing for sure, it just simply might not be the best option, but maybe it is. Right?
Yeah. Gotcha. You're like, you're the expert, Margette. Like, give me a good option here. Like, tell me a good way to.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So it sounds like you're consorting with your connections here.
Yeah.
To gather information, and so you're going to make a consort roll.
Okay.
The position doesn't really affect this roll. You can just say control. It's fine. You are going to get +1 result level. So if you roll a 1, 2, or 3, it counts as a 4 or a 5. And if you roll a 4 or a 5, it counts as a 6. If you roll a 6, it counts as a crit. You can push yourself for a bonus die or take a devil's bargain if you want to. On top of
if I push myself, I get a stress, right?
You get 2 stress.
Ooh.
It'll make that vice roll a little more appealing, right?
I do it, man. It's actually
Yeah, I'm doing it. Okay, I'm also pushing. Yes, I'm at 5 stress now.
Nice. Cool. So you'll take a bonus die as well. And then there's no place for you to put your like result bonus, so we'll just do that ourselves after you.
Okay, so effect standard 1 bonus die, and 6, 3, 1.
Booyah! Look at that. So that 6 is a crit because of your newfound ability that you just got during
yeah.
Yeah, and actually that applies to acquire asset. We were talking about that before. I was like, oh, I think the spider has a thing when Zeke was getting his suit. Like, there's a thing that boosts your effect on acquiring stuff. This is that. So a critical result in a meeting with the Foghounds. So she's going to come up with something really good.
Is it crit? Is it possible that like, oh, I actually do that trade route to his?
Oh, well, that's interesting. Oh, yeah. I can combine that with what I was thinking. Lanik kind of suggested that there were like big goings on at Sucre's place. Like when he tried to intimidate you, like, oh, you don't want to mess with this guy. He has his own private lightning barrier out there, you know? So when you bring Margette up to speed, she goes, oh, this was that job.
She says that to me?
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, there's a guy out there. He's like building the compound. Yeah, this came through just like a week ago. He's looking for people who know their way around outside. He was trying to hire some cons. The Ironhook prison sends prisoners out into the Deathlands to scavenge for shit. It's something they do. And sometimes they like rent them out to private citizens illegally. The Bluecoats, do that. Yeah, he was trying to hire some cons, but we turned it down technically, but he's got to be pretty desperate if he's going to be using the scavengers. I think we might be able to reel him back in.
Why'd you turn it down?
He actually, does she know anything about your relationship to him, or is that kind of secret?
I don't think that she would.
Okay. So she would tell you what this guy's like then. She wouldn't assume that you know. She says like, basically he's a piece of shit. And I don't like to work for people like that. But you're the exception. And she like kind of like pats you on the shoulder.
Oh.
I think I actually take that moment in time to think about like, okay, we have an ally here, but I don't want to compromise our position. But I would just say, maybe I would say something to the effect of, all our thoughts are aligned.
Nice. So she sits back and she's like, so what's the split? And so we can cut there if you want. And like the crew can discuss this later and you guys can work out exactly what it is. Or if you want to just take the initiative and just tell her a number right now, you can.
What the job pay?
She's not a spider like you, Wheat. So you can see her like about to say the actual number, and then she goes 8. She's totally lying. 4 would be pretty reasonable for that job, in your opinion.
4 would be reasonable for the job. You mean to actually like for the job they were going to do
for the transportation job? 4
then I say, you know, you make the arrangements and we can put 2 on top of that, and I'll pay it to you up front.
And she's like 10, huh? Pretending like she's getting 8 from the job still. She's like, that's a fine payday. I don't want this coming back on us. And she says that a little bit like ironically, like not as a threat or like a real expectation, but more just like, you know, be cool about this. You know, she's not like holding you accountable exactly, but she is like, hey, this is your thing. We're going to take you out there. Whatever you do, you know, that's your business.
So I actually use this opportunity to test our reputation a little bit.
Okay, nice.
And I actually say, well, certainly you know of our reputation. Just kind of see what her reaction is to that.
Yeah. She gets a little paler. Like, she's tough. She's not super easy to intimidate, but merciless it is what rings in her head, right? And she kind of like, she's like, okay. I mean, we're hey, look,
I certainly wasn't.
We're all friends here. I
wasn't intending necessarily to threaten, but more like as a test of reputation. When she said, you know, I don't want this to come back on us.
Yeah,
is to like, has our reputation ever given you?
Well, that's true. Professional is the other side of that coin. So yes,
that's like actually, and of course the character can misinterpret how I say it, but that was my intention is more like, you know, our reputation should assure you that it won't come back on us. That's
right. You're professionals. Yeah, I know. I misunderstood you. I think Cataby's able to make herself clear in the situation, and yeah. So she says, "Well, I've never heard of you letting anyone down." and
you know what? Like, I think she follows up with, "And you've never heard of the other 50 times that we never let someone down."
Nice. So she goes over and she like takes one of the rigs off the wall and puts it down as the like capper on the scene. It clunks on the table and one of the hoses like pops off. And she goes, "I'm going to show you how to use one of these just in case."
Okay. I welcome the knowledge.
Nice. Cool. All right. So you have the means and a transporter into the Lost District that happens to be friendly even. And you've agreed to pay them 2 on top of their fee from Sukur.
Right.
I like that move too. Like, get the enemy to pay most of their way. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then, you know, I suppose maybe as I leave, there happens to be a guy playing cups on the sidewalk.
This is Crowsfoot. Crowsfoot is the street gambling capital of the city. It's everywhere. Every type of there's dice in the alleys, there's cards, there's mumble-de-pay, there's 3-card money, essentially, whatever you want to do. It's all here for you to indulge yourself.
So it just so happens that as I come out, there's this guy named Dath who I've actually played cups with before. And maybe Dath actually is like, you know, Cataby, I know you want to play around to the cups, and I just I literally cannot fucking resist.
Yeah, he's like waiting. He saw you go in. He like set up outside, waiting for you to come back out. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, my question though, before I it cost me a coin to indulge in my vice.
Yes.
I just gave up technically the 2 coin or promised that 2 coin. So I guess like I said before, so maybe I could give it the moment we work with them.
Yeah, it's technically. I mean, it's a promise.
Fair?
It's just a promise right now.
Okay.
You still have it. Yeah.
But I will use my coin right now if I can hit this X button. There we go.
Are you gonna pay your personal money for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, to indulge my vice.
Okay.
And it's Daff, who
good old Daff.
Cups with. Yep.
Yep. So you're gonna click the. There's an indulge vice button on your sheet, like kind of up by where the vices are written.
Yes, I see that now.
And
all right. I have Cliff, no bonus dice.
Yep.
Oh, motherfucker.
Oh, I was hoping to overindulge.
Wow.
Oh, that's fine.
So
Wow.
Great.
That's fine, even though I have one more stress than what I started with, Jeff.
So you clear one. So here are your choices.
Jeff.
You can spend another coin to do it again. You can spend a coin to increase your result to 4 or 5. You get to pick which number.
Well,
what?
So
it's not an option. Just choose to do 4 or 5.
during downtime on most rolls, after you roll, you can spend a coin to raise your result level. And normally it doesn't matter what the number is because the result levels are just levels. But with Vice, the number does matter. So,
like I did with the suit.
Yeah.
All right, my double or nothing is going to do exactly that, and I'll just take all my stress away.
Yeah, if you spend another coin, then you can pick 5, which you obviously want to do, and be down to 0.
Okay. I don't feel bad about that considering I just negotiated transport for 2 gold.
I think it's good. And I mean, essentially it's good in the fiction too, because Daff basically like just keeps you going for the rest of the day or the night. And you just end up spending way more than you thought you would, but it was worth it. It's a good time. Get your fix.
It's
nice. Good work. Nice downtime spidering. Wait.
Great.
Who is next?
And just for I get to reset my foresights on downtime, correct?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
You get those 2 back for the next time.
I'll go next because it potentially is 2 for
Nice.
If player 2 wants to.
I don't know what I'm agreeing to, but I'm.
We don't have to agree. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
So I think just again, and like maybe in the construction of our vault and our various bedroom type stuff, the previously mentioned Carolus, who's kind of tweaking out a little bit. Maybe like he's over there stacking his books and one drops down and you can see him kind of like look at it and like get really mad, then slowly rip it in half and then put it on the ground and just be like, nope, that's not doing it. Goes over to where Anne is assembling her room. What's your room look like, Anne?
I'm in like a cellar. Like the library had some kind of storage space underneath. So
okay. I think in this crickety-crackety old library type place, you could probably hear me coming a mile away. I'm not necessarily stomping or anything like that, but I'm also not moving ethereally or anything like that. I'm just kind of walking down there.
Yep.
Your cellar and knock on the door a little bit.
yes.
Anne, a moment of your time, if you would, please.
I don't know who Anne is.
God damn it. Rune. Yeah, he's just Rune. My bad.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you open the doors or are we just talking through the door?
Oh, yeah. No, I open the door and I come to the door and I open it for you.
Okay. He's uncomfortably close, obviously, as is tradition with Careless. And he looks at you and he's like, I think I got the size right. I would like to offer you to perhaps join me in a night on the town, painting it red, so to speak. This is not a random offer. This is because, let me make sure I got this right. There's not this pause. I should have done this before. You have been chosen, so to speak, by she who slays in the dark, and I would like to continue that conversation.
She who slays in the what?
The name will come with time. But for right now, I would like to take you on a little bit of a journey. Are you interested?
Is it far?
It is not far.
All right.
Very good. You'll want to get your coat, and I have one for you as well. But we shall go now. I actually need to go quite soon. It's all been arranged.
Sure. And I like blow out the candles in my room and grab my coat off of a chair.
Okay. And then he kind of like walks us out and starts to make his way. Viewers of this have seen this path before. It seems to be a little bit familiar, but he kind of, as he's like leaving, he just like has like a little nod. He seems quite pleased with himself, but at the same time, there's like a twitch in his eye, like, you know, like a little, and then he starts walking and he's like, Anne, I have so many questions, so many riddles that I want to ask you. I want to see where you land on this. 3 men sit around a fire. 1 loves the other men. 1 is afraid of the other men. And 1 hates all the other men. Question is, which one of these men survives the fire?
I assume you're talking to me. I don't know who you keep talking about when you say Anne.
Did I say Anne again? I'm really sorry. Rune.
I'm not really one for riddles, careless.
Rune?
The one who hates the others? I don't.
Very good. You answered correctly. The reason the person that hates the others lives is because they are motivated. They're driven. They have a reason to do something. When someone's afraid, that's them avoiding something. When someone loves something, that's them unknowingly wanting to get closer to something. But when someone hates, Rune, when someone hates, that's where the true power lies. Who do you hate, Rune?
Most everyone, I've got to say.
You are being terribly oblique with this. I'm actually driving at a point right now. There is someone that you and I talked about, and I believe you do hate this person. Do you not?
Skurlock.
Exactly. I also will try to be less oblique, but I've been thinking a lot about this, and I've got all these ideas in my head about how this could go down. Keep up. He's like, he like walks really fast, like really uncomfortably fast, and then turns and stops and looks at you and just keeps walking. But
Yeah, Rune's kind of short too, so she doesn't.
Yeah.
She can't keep up with you because you're a lot taller.
But we're heading to, and what was the name of the church, John? Again, it was like
The Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh.
Exactly. So we kind of make our way there, and he says, it'll be very clear, but it is important. You said one thing earlier. I feel like you should know this now. Her name is She Who Slays in the Dark. You remember her now, yes?
Sure.
Very good. She's hard to forget. Usually when she reaches out to someone in their dreams, they do not forget these things. She reached out to me once, and I've been changed ever since. We're going to go in here real quick. You're going to see a little bit of me, and we're going to learn some things about you. But you've been chosen. Like I said. Anyways, it'll make sense in a minute.
So,
and throws the door open.
Let me put this in context real quick for your character, because you're a street kid from Duskwall.
Mm-hmm.
Brightstone is the sort of second nicest neighborhood, aside from the like estates on the island across the channel. Like, this is the richest part of town. This is the grand cathedral built 600 years ago. That is this massive thing. It's like Notre Dame kind of thing. All the fancy people pay homage to the church in some way. It's the anti-spirit cult essentially of the city. People, ghosts are a big scourge, so it's popular to like go and pay lip service to this idea that like the spirit is corrupt and all that kind of stuff. Not everyone is a believer, but everyone kind of goes and participates for political reasons usually. And you've probably seen this thing from a distance your whole life, towering over Brightstone. It's this really crazy symbol of the elite and the powerful,
Mm-hmm.
that you would never ever get to step foot in. And as you're seemingly going into it, there's a sudden, turn, and Careless takes you down this secret way underneath into this strange place that is hidden away from normal eyes. But I just wanted to put that in context for your character. Like, this is like this crazy thing that's always been sort of in the background as you grew up in the city.
Right.
And anyway, go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. So I think as we're walking down, a person in a red cloak, kind of like last time, meets us before a certain particular door we've seen before, and is holding a plastic like parka type thing, nothing else. And I take the plastic parka from him and just kind of like stare at him as he like walks away, doesn't say anything. And I hand it to Rune, and I'm like, Rune, please put this on. It can get messy down there, and I want you to tell me if I got the size right.
Okay, so I kind of I take the tunic or whatever the thing is from him, and I kind of look at it. Just like, it's not really my style.
No, of course not. It has no color whatsoever. It lacks the black that you love so much. A lot of symbology here, Rune. A lot of symbology, but it does fit. I can say that for myself. We really must be going. And he opens the door. Again, like herky-jerky opens it and says, I will lead the way. Follow me. And starts walking down. And as we're walking down, he's like, he's rolling up his sleeves, just kind of, just rolling them back a little bit. And then we come into a room, and he opens the room, and there is a man strapped to the wall with chains and a single fire, lantern-like thing on a desk, and then there's a chair. Come in, don't be shy.
All right. So I kind of walk in a little cautiously, like looking around and kind of, just taking in all of the stuff that I'm seeing, because obviously there's like this half dead guy hanging on the wall. All this shit is like.
He seems like unconscious a little bit, but yeah, he's.
Oh yeah, can I interject real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just remind me. I think we have established this. The creature chained up. They're a hollow. Is that right?
Yeah, we can call him that.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the kind of thing Rune is sensitive to. So she'll be able to feel this. Yeah. When you come into the room, Rune, it's a person. Has anything been done to this person yet?
Not really. Not yet.
All right. There's a thing called a hollow. So there's like different states to be in the spectrology of the game, right? You can be possessed, like you can be a person with a spirit, and another spirit like possesses your body. You can be a vampire where you're like have a undead body and a spirit animating an undead body. And you can be a hollow. Hollows are people who their bodies are alive, but they don't have a ghost. Their ghost has been destroyed or stuck in a spirit bottle or whatever. And this is the kind of stuff that you as a whisperer have trained in and know about. And as soon as you see this creature on the wall, you immediately recognize they're a hollow. There's usually a telltale sign that even non-magical people can tell there's something on the body, a mark or something has been done to him. But as a whisperer, you can just feel it. You look in his eyes and you're like, oh yeah, there's nobody home. He's just an empty husk. Anyway, just wanted to interject that.
Okay.
And he kind of continues to roll up his sleeves, and he kind of goes over to the body. He's got his back to you, and he's looking up at the person, and he's like, Rune, there is so much in a name. So much. For instance, your name is Rune. Do you know what a rune is, Rune?
Yeah, I know what a rune is.
Of course you do. You're smart. I like that about you. A rune is just a word to describe something that means something. It has meaning. It represents more than its whole. Do you know what his name is, Rune? His name is Sebastian. Do you know what Sebastian means?
I don't.
Neither do I. It means nothing, Rune. It doesn't mean anything at all. This man is a nothing. He will pass. He will live. He will go. He is a nothing. Life is that fire I was talking about, Rune. Fear is a tool. Love is a weakness. Hatred is God. With hatred, you can shape and mold this person into something that otherwise was not. And that, Rune, is your namesake. You've been chosen by she who slays in the dark, and she is a god as well. And now, and he turns and looks at you, and he's holding that knife, and he's like, Rune, I'd like you to take control of your destiny and walk towards your birthright. You were named for this. You've been chosen, and you came to me not out of love, not out of fear, but out of hate. And now it's time that you really embrace that.
Can we pause?
Yep.
Before Rune answers, I have suspense for our break.
Is this a proper YouTube fucking
okay?
Is this your first
Damn.
Oh God. All right.
All right. We will find out Rune's answer when we come back from our break. We will be back shortly. You can think about how far down the rabbit hole you want to go.
So what if Chad says Sebastian actually means pious or faithful?
Oh, that's so good. That's awesome. All right, we're going on our second break. We'll be back in just a bit. See you then.